It's Movie Time is brought to you by the Gateway Film Center, 1550 North High Street, Columbus, Ohio. Further details and showtimes online at gatewayfilmcenter.org.
The award-winning It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to the shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Kevin Carr.
This, of course, is
It's Movie Time.
Yeah. Now, Kev,
Yeah.
I think it's the best title of the summer. Atomic Blonde.
It's a better title than what it was based on.
Oh, that's right. The
coldest city?
Yeah, I know, right?
That just sounds like the Inconvenient Truth sequel, which is coming out.
All right, this is all about Charlize Theron.
Oh, yeah.
Kev, is it a worthwhile movie? What is it?
It's certainly, if you're a Charlize Theron fan, it's definitely a worthwhile movie because you see a lot of her and you see a lot of her in the movie.
Yes. The opening shot of her in a bathtub of ice.
Yes, I'm all for that. I was hugely into that scene. But yeah, I mean it's people are comparing it to like John Wick.
Yeah.
What it did for Keanu Reeves. That's not exactly a one-to-one. I think John Wick's a little more hard-hitting and fast.
Well, they worked out together, but mostly the director had an uncredited direction for John Wick.
Oh, okay.
And he's a stuntman.
Okay.
So, I mean, there you go.
There's a lot of connections.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. And I think others would say it's Jane Bond.
James Blonde or Jane Bond, one of the two.
Right.
Jane Blonde.
Right.
Jane Blonde.
All right, okay. But Kevin, come on. Is it senseless? Is it worthless?
Well, first of all, the story is it's not a modern story. It takes place in 1989. It's right before the Berlin Wall falls.
Right.
And that's all framed around that. And it's kind of nice to go back to a Cold War movie. First of all, it's nice to see bad guys in movies who aren't terrorists, and it's nice to see a good old-fashioned Eastern Bloc Cold War movie. And that makes it a little bit nostalgic.
Yes.
And it is sort of steeped in this very stylized look. But in that sense, there's a certain familiarity to it that I like, that I was drawn to beyond just it being an action international thriller.
And look, I think there's even an attempt, figuratively,
yeah,
for the breakdown of the wall with the change in the spy system.
Oh, sure.
I think that there's an attempt, artistic attempt. But most of all, it's Charlize kicking everlasting butt here,
Kevin.
Yeah.
That is the point of the movie. It's to put her in the action. I mean, and one thing I do like about her, she's not like impervious, because the whole thing begins with her in a bathtub full of ice, and she's just bruised and beaten and
drinking her Stoli straight.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because she's in the Eastern Bloc, But she's not like it's not like a Fast and Furious movie where The Rock gets crushed by a parking garage and then just like busts out of his cast in the next scene. So there's a certain sense, even though it's still a totally absurd, there's a sense of reality there where she's fighting people and she's getting hurt herself.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah, and she's doing it in like hooker boots and fishnets, which I guess isn't any more ridiculous than doing it in an Armani tux.
Well, exactly, and she's bruised when we first see her.
Mm-hmm.
Although that cliched looking back, the interrogators there, John Goodman, and
Toby Jones.
Right, and
I love Toby Jones.
I know. So they're constantly flashing back.
Yeah.
And that's that's been used many ways. But she does open up bruised,
yeah,
which I like, and I think was your point. There's some sense of realism here, though the biggest scene in the film.
Oh yeah.
Totally unrealistic, but absolutely absorbing.
But it does show that there's a massive action scene that you could tell is one of those one take things.
Kevin, 5 minutes, and no doubt.
It's long. I think it's like I think I clocked it around 10 or 15 because it keeps going. It's not just a fight scene, but
this is worth seeing.
Yeah.
Take all of your great fight scenes. It's up there at the top of them. She starts with some goons on a stairway.
Yeah.
And then she goes all the way out to a car.
Yeah. It goes all the way into a car chase,
Kevin, I hate to say it, but I loved when the blonde goon shows up on the windshield.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy should have been gone long ago when he comes back. It's way too hilarious.
Oh, it is, and that's where it's fun. And ultimately, it's like I said, it's absurd and it's silly, and it is steeped in this overly stylized thing. And she's almost at times overly cool. And I mean, again, absurd is a good word to it.
Yes, she is.
They are. It's very clear they're trying to make kind of like the female James Bond version of it. The problem is I felt it ran a little long.
Yes.
And it's different because, a James Bond movie will run over 2 hours, but they go to different locations. This is all kind of like all taking place in East Berlin. There's only so many hovels you can visit.
Kevin, there are several set pieces here that don't fit in with anything.
Yeah.
You could plug them into another movie. It was just a chance to have her kicking and to have more of these leather-clad goons get beaten around by a tall woman.
Yes.
Who happened to start out in ballet.
Oh, yeah.
She's 5'9½". She's lithe and she's tough. So Charlene, Charlize seems to have a future if she wants it in this kind of Scarlett Johansson changing career to something different, where you expected her as an Oscar-winning actress for Monster.
Well, yeah, or even just the Pretty Blonde that she's done that she's kind of started out in with movies like Celebrity and stuff, but you also saw a bit of this in Mad Max Fury Road. So this is not. This should not be unexpected that she has the formidable presence to do this.
Anybody who can outstrip Tom Hardy.
Yeah. Well, he was wearing a mask. He always wears a mask.
But she and Mad Max, I think that's such a great illusion.
Yeah.
I mean, she was the centerpiece of that film.
Yeah.
And she did a terrific job in playing a tough lady.
Yeah.
And she's going right into this one where she is the centerpiece. Now, I thought you were leading to, and I think I sense it in you too.
Yeah.
I'm a bit concerned about the character development. You said she was too cool, and that kind of fits in with my sense that I thought with James Bond you got something more of a character. With her, no.
Well, I've always said James Bond. I actually said this to a friend yesterday. James Bond is more an archetype than a character. What makes him fun is that he's imperfect and he's a womanizing killer. I mean, you don't want to develop that character too much, and that's a problem when you do something like Skyfall, which they really develop the character. They give him too much of backstory, and then you're like, well, then you have to have him face the fact that he's a psychopath. And you don't want that. So I don't want much more development for her. I kind of want her going around and, having sex with the pretty spies and beating up the people. I do have to ask, though, when are they going to stop putting every single spy's name on like a piece of microfilm or microchip?
Oh, isn't that funny? And this the MacGuffin of this film is the list of double agents.
Yes.
That's hidden in a watch.
Yeah. And there's always a list of everybody somewhere.
It's great, I know. And so I find some insubstantial in some ways that make me worry about it as a franchise. I just don't find anything else there other than incredible style, cinematography. Kevin. These people continue to amaze me.
It's a gorgeous looking movie.
It is indeed. So it's summertime, Kevin.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we asking for here?
Well, and we're on that way. Whenever you get the because we had a Christopher Nolan movie last week.
Yes,
whenever you get a Christopher Nolan movie, it's then all downhill from there. It's kind of how they do this.
All right. Kevin Carr, the movie is Atomic Blonde.
Yes.
Starring Charlize Theron. What grade would you award it?
I'm going to give it an atomic B+.
Very good. And I'm going to give it a B. Okay, so which I think makes us substantial as critics.
That's right.